This is our story for 2 alpha. We get some new verb forms. So we get first, second, and third person singular. And in 2 beta, we're going to see some new forms for noun cases. So I'm just going to walk through, we already have our notes from class, and give you a translation to use to study. So we have ha dikaiapolis, ek baine, ek tu oiku, kai kale ton xanthion. Dikaiapolis walks from the house, and he calls Xanthias. Ha Xanthias doulos estin, skoros men anthropos, argos de. Xanthias is the slave. On the one hand, me, he is a strong man. On the other hand, de, lazy. Ugar pane, e me parestin ha dikaiapolis. For he who does not work unless dikaiapolis parestin is present. Nunde kathaude ento oiko. Now he is asleep in the house. Ha un dikaiapolis kale alton kailege. Dikaiapolis calls him and says, Elthe dero, O Xanthia. Come here, O Xanthias. And we also learned imperatives, and then the other thing we learned in this chapter for our verbs was when verbs contract, what's going to happen there. And we'll talk about that in our notes. Te kathaudes, why are you sleeping? Me hutos argos iste ala spade. Don't be lazy, but hurry. Ha un Xanthias bradeos ek baine ek tu oiku kai lege. Xanthias slowly walks from the house and says, Te e huto kalpos o despota. Why are you so difficult, O master? Ugar argos eme alla ede speldo. For I am not lazy, but already I am hurrying. Ha de dikaiapolis lege, Dikaiapolis says, Elthe dauro kai sulambane. Come here and help me. Another imperative, ire, gar ta aratron, kai fere alta pros ton agron. Carry the plow and fere, and bring it to the field. Ego gar alauno, tus bus, alla spade. For I am driving the cows, tus bus, or the oxen. But hurry. Mikros mengar estin, ha agros makros de haponos. For the field is small, but the work is large. If you look in a dictionary, the first form is your first person, singular, present, active, indicative, right? So there's this verb, luo, which means to free or loosen, and that's a good example. Or you could have, for our contract verb, we're going to have kaleo, right? So that O ending is going to be your first person singular. That's also going to be the form you use to get the stem for your spelling. So you're going to use this to get your present, active, stem. Alright, so if you look on page 17, your book is going to use luo and they're going to use phileo as the example. Alright, so this were our notes, just to recap verbs. So for verbs, we always have person, that's first, second, or third. First, we can spell this out. First is going to be I, singular, or we. Second is you in the singular or plural. And third, he, she, it, or they. And then tense. So the only tense that we know is the present tense, and the rest we can hold off on. But those are all the other ones, just so you know. Mood, just the indicative, so facts or imperatives, commands. There are others, but again, we don't need to worry about them right now. And voice. So the only voice we need to worry about is active, and we can underline these just to set them apart. So the first form in your dictionary entry, your book has been giving you the third person singular, but normally you're going to see a verb ending with an omega, and you're going to get your first person singular. It's present tense, happening now. Active, the subject is, doing the action. And indicative, factual. You'll use this to get the stem to build your verb. So we used luo, that's our regular verb, and phileo is our contract verb. It's an epsilon contract verb. Those are models. So luo, we learned o, ace, a. And then when you have a contract verb, because that epsilon is in the stem, when it meets the vowel you're adding, it's going to result in a new combination. A lot of times that just means you're going to see a circumflex as your accent showing you a contraction. Sometimes it'll also change the spelling. And we learned our verb to be, aim, a, estin. I am, you are, he, she, or it is. We also learned imperatives to give a command. So normally you just add an epsilon, so spelde. When you add an epsilon to your contract verb, you're going to get an epsilon iota, so phile. And to give a negative command, you're going to use may plus an imperative, so don't hurry. And that's it for 2 alpha. I think once we get into chapter 3, we'll learn our plurals. But in 2 beta, you're going to learn some singular forms for nouns.